Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Alien Protocols. I'm still creating these cool pieces of jewelry that's magnetite, and everything is recycled, and I'm not selling it. It's only being given to very unique situations that happen. Just because you have not received one does not mean I don't truly love you and appreciate you. Especially someone recently who's made a donation, and it really came at a just perfectly synchronous time, and I really appreciate it, and I love you guys very much for that. Oh yes, remember this phenomena? Maybe you guys will be able to listen while this happens in the background. Maybe not. So, anyway, I wanted to talk about the next level of the onion, possibly. A real possibility that some of the evidence points towards, and a lot of people a lot smarter than me believe is conceivable and may even be the most probable. And it's something I've discussed before. It's the possibility that we are a simulation. And if you look at matter and how matter itself is mostly space, and it's mostly space by such a large margin, it is hard to comprehend. Matter is so much nothingness and an illusion, just barely held up by these fields that just barely allow it to do what it appears to do and function as it appears to function in a co-creative reaction with consciousness. We know that it's not matter, energy, space-time first, or consciousness first. It's a tapestry. It's both simultaneous. It's a superposition. And because of that, consciousness and matter have a very interesting reaction together. And many people have theorized that it's more likely that we are a simulation. It might be more likely that there are many advanced civilizations that conduct many simulations at one time. So many simulations, in fact, that there's probably more simulated life than real life in the universe, especially simulated advanced life able to ask these type of questions. And that's a statistical probability that people smarter than I have been able to make. I don't know the pure validity of that notion, but I would see logic and the possibility, a non-zero possibility, that a form of life could advance to our stage, other places, and then advance farther, and then naturally turn into a digital kind of life form, like we are destined to do, maybe in as little as 50 or 100 years even. And that this digital life form might lose touch with its humanity at some point, and want to feel what it felt like, or more importantly, get data from simulations that it wasn't able to get from life forms while it was in this transition. And maybe we are simulations because of that. Maybe it's another biological life form that's created us. But you would think that if you created a life form that had consciousness and was a good life form, would you give that life form the possibility to transcend? To go to another level, not to have their life be meaningless digits? Would you give it a heaven, the species? I don't know. I think humans would, if a species that we created in a simulation became conscious and sentient and was a good species and represented existence well, and we had the ability to help it transcend, I think it would be an obligation to do so. And what if that is possible with us? What if everything is happening in our existence has the appearance of what we can closest consider to be a type of simulation, but it just appears to us to be that way? And the mechanics of the universe, it's just the natural mechanics of the universe. It's a very anthropic principle, but the natural mechanics of the universe give that appearance. It's much less likely that we are a primary biological real species. Maybe the original primary species is like a quantum fluctuation that creates what's called a Boltzmann brain. A brain that exists in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of nothingness, that's able to perceive everything up to this moment as if it's happened as a history. It's just a quantum fluctuation, maybe. Or maybe we are an original biological real species, and we're having this real encounter with extraterrestrials and learning about this new field, just like Volta did 200 years ago when he united the weird paranormal phenomena of the electromagnetic field, which we no longer fear and couldn't imagine life without nowadays. And I think this new field that we've been exploring and many phenomena is associated with is the real physical aspect of this stuff. It's not woo-woo. And just the fact that some humans can utilize it better than others gives us the hint, the clue, that if advanced species exist, they would also be able to use it, and most likely at a more proficient level. And they do. Just like we've just recently found gravimetric waves. And now there is a gravimetric field that goes from all levels to intensity. And as we learn to master the gravimetric field, we can do long, low-range communications all the way up to high-energy gravimetric beams. The consequences of mastery of these bosons and these subatomic particles and these illusionary forces are more a reality of consciousness than anything else. Much love.